Hello friends. So today we will be discussing a topic from the GS3 environment paper which comes under the international mechanism. The topic is High Side Treaty or the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Treaty, the Bbnj. So before entering the topic directly, let's analyze the PYQs and what all questions were coming from the international mechanism on the environment paper. That's the GS3 paper. So while analyzing the trend, we can see that the UPSC has been quietly been asking a lot more on this. So initially, a question on carbon credit mechanism under the UNFCCC was asked. Then about the Ramsar site, which we already learned, and detailed classes will be uploaded soon. And the Green Credit Initiative was once asked. The global air quality indexes. There was a question on global air quality indexes. Then one about the COP26, which was based on the current affairs questions, which was asked in the mains as well. And in 2020, a question was on Kyoto Protocol. Okay, so UPSC has been taking the important earlierly signed protocols and initiatives. And in 2022, very recently in 2022, the 1999 Gothenburg Protocol was asked. The question was to explain the protocol and to analyze it. Yeah, so UPSC has this trend of asking these questions on the international mechanism, which India are also a part, and which is a crucial point in the conservation of our planet and the biodiversity around it. So that's why we have to learn this high sea treaty, and more importantly, the deep ocean missions have been on trend, and India is also preparing itself for the deep ocean mission, which is a Samudrayan, and the vehicle we are preparing is a Matsya 6000. Okay, it's a prelims question, and we will meet it more detail in the science and tech. Okay, science and tech part. So now let's jump on to our topic, High Sea Treaty or the Bbnj. So as an introduction, so wait for a second, we will be preparing these notes, preparing this class as a answer writing model for the mains. So after taking this note, you will be able to, like, you don't have to modify much for your answer. So this covers all the dimensions that we need for the UPSC preparation. Okay, so what it is, what the High Sea Treaty is, that we can be add on the introduction. It's a landmark international agreement under the UN clause, United Nations Convention of Law on Seas. It seeks to regulate the activities in the high seas. The high seas means the areas beyond national jurisdiction. Okay, the areas beyond national jurisdiction. It's beyond 200 nautical miles and all. So that fact it's not that important, but we should be able to know it regulates the activity in the high seas. That is, it constitutes almost 64% of the world ocean area. So that's a huge area, huge potential for resources and exploitation. Okay, so let's look into the significance and challenges and the way forward. Okay, so the significance of this treaties is mainly addresses the global common challenges. So while we are saying the significance, if the question is on the features of the law or the features of this treaty, we can also quote these points. So it addresses the global common challenges. So what are the global common challenges? It's the plastic dumping in the open oceans, the deep sea mining, and yeah, that's all are the global common challenges. Then another important thing is, even though it's launched by the UN clause, it actually complementing it. Okay, that is, it provides concrete operational mechanism like the legal frameworks. It asks for it established marine protected areas and scientific for new zones. Okay, then it combat the emerging threats. The emerging threats have been addressing by it. The emerging threats are the deep sea mining, the ocean acidification, and the plastic pollution. So the High Sea Treaty is mainly focusing on these three aspects: the deep sea mining, the ocean acidification, and the plastic pollution. And it strengthens the international cooperation, that is, the institutional framework and the decision making mechanisms are aiding especially the low income countries, which obviously lack the resources and technology to use the use and participate in this high seas. Okay. Then it aligns with the SDG goals. SDG goal 14 is the life below water, which fostering marine biodiversity. So it's a huge push for the conservation of marine diversity in that area, the high sea area. And for India, it aligns with the Sagar initiative. The Sagar initiative is a security and growth for all in the Indian Ocean region initiative launched by India. So it aligns with it, as high sea. Even regions of the Indian Ocean region are part of the high sea, so it comes under that. Then it supports the blue economy. Blue economy is the ocean economy. That is via equitable benefit sharing of the resources. India is also getting benefited as India is an emerging developing country, and it's a developing country and lacks certain resources as compared with the developed nation. So India will be also be benefited with equitable benefit sharing, and it is aids with the climate resilience initiatives, and the protect the coral reefs and the coral ecosystem. We know the Lakshadweep Islands of India is a part of this. It's a coral island, so it, and we have been seeing some environmental issues there. So it aids us in conservation of the Lakshadweep areas. And let's look into the major challenges. So there is a complex multilateral negotiation happening. Like over 20 years, this negotiation is happening due to diverse national interests. There are developed nations here, so there are certain conflict of interest there. So then we are looking into one such conflict of interest, which is the sovereign equality versus the differentiated responsibility. That is, the wealthy nations, they won't be happy about the restrictions imposed on them or the binding obligations. So the developed nations need to, like, they try to resist that obligation, while developing nations lacks resources for compliance. Example, Chinese aggression in the South China Sea. We have, it's recently been all the years some news are being there. Taiwan, Japan. Okay. Technical and capacity gaps. The lack of scientific and technical capabilities developing an underdeveloped nation. So they recently, we know the Samudra mission, the deep sea mission is currently been taking place in India, but some nations, some developed nations has already exploiting their opportunities in the deep sea mining. The difficulty in monitoring vast remote areas. So we know the we need to strengthen our monitoring system. So there is an interesting point that nearest human inhabitant near Point Nemo. Point Nemo is a very remote area in the Pacific Ocean. So the nearest point to it is actually the International Space Station, which is around 150 kilometers from it. Okay, it is in the space, the International Space Station, but the another nearest landmass to the Point Nemo is around 1000 kilometers away from it. So the monitoring is a bit hard in the high seas. The ambiguity in benefit sharing mechanism is another concern. That is, there is no clear mechanism for the benefit sharing mechanisms. That is, then obviously the conflict between conservation and industry. Like, should we be exploiting the deep sea mining, or should we not be doing it to conserve the biodiversity, or is there a balance that we can find in this case? Then we will look into, sorry, there's two more points. Since lot of nations are being there and the powerful nations are being there, so there's a risk of politicization of this treaty. Okay, and the politicization and this geopolitical competition may delay the implementation. And for the high sea treaty itself, there is a slow institutional operationalization. That is, the governance mechanism for high sea treaty are being yet to be finalized, even though they have been launched years before. And let's look at the way forward. We have looked at the challenges. So from the challenges itself, we have to address, we will be able to give the way forward. So we had set the technological and capacity gap. So one point is strengthen capacity building and tech transfer between the nation. And we have seen some risk of politicization, slow institutional operations and all. So we can say we should establish transparent governance frameworks. Okay. Then we have seen like there's an ambiguity in benefit sharing mechanisms, that is no clear mechanisms have been there. So we can add in the way forward like implement equitable benefit sharing. And since there is a lot of nations being part of it, there are concerns with regard to like not uniform policy. So we can say adopt robust EIA protocols for all high sea projects, that we can say. And we could be able to say that we should promote the multi-stakeholder engagement to make the developing and the underdeveloped nations part of it. And another important thing is many of the domestic laws are not in alignment with the treaty. So we can say from the Indian perspective, like we should make our environment protection laws and marine fisheries act to reflect the high sea treaty. And we can use the digital technology for monitoring of the high seas. Okay, we can actually write the way forward from the conclusion part itself. Sorry, from the challenges part itself. So as conclusion, we can say we should be able to write more of an optimistic, more futuristic conclusion. One such conclusion is we can write from the Indian perspective that for India, it's an opportunity to lead globally. Like we already said, it aligns with our SARC initiative. So it's a big boost to India. It's an opportunity to lead globally and promote blue economy. We know India is going to get a lot of benefits by using this treaty, and uphold sustainable ocean governance. Yeah, sustainable ocean governance, ensuring high seas remains a shared global commons. So this is an important area for GS3 main. Hope you all liked it. Have a wonderful day. We will come back with more such topics.